of our government, we are largely silent. But that's a different topic altogether. But basically, I just wanted to start a conversation about what progress really means. And I wanted to caution you to be very wary of capitalism that looks like progress. Most of these cases, it's not real progress. In most of these cases, there has been nothing done to shift the imbalance of power behind these campaigns. It might be profitable for that individual marginalized person. But in terms of, is it really a step forward for that oppressed community? Most of the time, it isn't. Remember, we're looking for things that really shift the power structure. We're looking for things that route money back into a marginalized community. We're looking at things that provide a seat at the table for a marginalized community. So as you're sort of exploring these ideas of feminism, and we started having a conversation about intersectional feminism and this idea that we really need to start examining which women we are caring about, which women's issues we are giving regard to. A lot of people will, advocate for women's rights, but when it comes to the rights of women around the world, at the hands is actually capitalism disguised as progress. I don't know if that's worded the best way, but basically what I mean by that is we look at all of these campaigns and their inclusion of marginalized groups. And we say, you know what, this is awesome. This is definitely a step in the right direction. But what that inclusion really does is it continues to make the same powers that be even richer. There has not been a significant shift in the power structure between those who hold the power now and the marginalized communities that are supposedly being included and represented. There's no shift in that power structure. So when you see inclusivity in something related to capitalism, it might be good for that individual marginalized person. Hey guys, so I wanted to have a conversation with you. I've been thinking about having this conversation with you yesterday after hearing a lot of the dialogue centered around International Women's Day. And, the conversation I wanted to have was related to this concept of progress. And how do we define progress? When you talk about marginalized communities, we had mentioned this before in one of the earlier Insta stories. When we talk about marginalized communities, what's really happening is there's an imbalance of power. There's a systemic imbalance of power. And so when we look for progress, when we look at things to determine whether or not it's a good thing or it's a bad thing, we have to look and see whether or not there has been a shift in power. One of the things that I would personally be very wary of is progress that